Greetings from the Corporate Interface Cell and a very warm welcome to Business Edge 4.0, 6 Industries, 1 Podcast. The Corporate Interface Cell is the official corporate club at NMIMS ASM SOC that bridges the gap between the students and the business world. I, Prisha Churasma, bring to you an episode on the most dynamic and influential industry of the corporate world, the media industry. Media and marketing are the dynamic duo that shape how we perceive, connect with, and embrace the world's products, ideas, and stories. To discuss this interesting amalgamation, today we have with us an esteemed guest, Ms Shruti Tyagi, the Senior Director of Marketing at JioCinema. During her career span of over a decade, she has been associated with esteemed organizations like Zee Entertainment, Times Television Networks, Discovery Communications, and presently Viacom 18. Ms Tyagi is well versed with building brands and creating award-winning marketing campaigns. She has an expertise in product life cycle and business planning. As her part of her role at JioCinema, she is a seasoned professional in skills like media strategy, strategic communications, influencer marketing, and market planning. Join us as we delve into Ms Tyagi's professional journey, the challenges and opportunities in the media and marketing sectors, and her insights on the same. This promises to be an enlightening conversation that you wouldn't want to miss. It is truly an honor having you here today with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let us begin with our first segment.
Sure.
So to begin with, I would like to know more about your role as the marketing director and about your transition to this from your previous roles at Times Television and Zee Entertainment Enterprises.
Sure. I think in total I have 12 years of work experience in different, I would say, channels dealing with different audiences in the media industry. But the journey started with a very interesting note when I was in college with you, like you guys. I always wanted to be media planner. I loved numbers. I was fascinated by numbers. So I did my internship at media planning agencies and I was like, I'm clear this is the path that I want to be. Then Zee came as a campus placement and they told me there's a channel research person role for which we would like to hire you. And I was like, I really said no. I said, no, I want to be media planner. I can't get into channel research. But they said, it's a part, media planning is a part of channel research, so you will also do it. So I was like, okay, fine, good money. I was getting good, I was coming to Bombay for the first time, so I was excited. So I was like, okay, fine, let's just go about it. So I was hired as a channel research person. During my internships, I learned all the software, so I was very good at it. That's what my bosses used to tell me. Within 6 months, they told me, you're good at numbers, why don't you shift to marketing? I was like, what is going on? I just joined as channel research and you're shifting my career
Trajectory,
yeah. So they said, no, just try for 6 months and we'll see how it goes. Right. And I think that was the best decision ever that my bosses have taken for me. And I was really blessed to have those two people understood my strengths and just completely changed my trajectory. And I think I'm loving the marketing and the branding, part of it. I'm just loving this journey. So that's how my marketing career started. I was part of the Hindi movie cluster with JioCinema, Zee Classic. I'm not sure how many people have watched Zee Cinema now. But at that point of time, it was quite big. We were the number one leading Hindi movies channel. So my audience was very different. I was dealing with a person who's sitting maybe in Kanpur or Allahabad or Agra. The tonality, everything was very different. 3.5 years, I loved it, learned a lot. But I think I have that little itch that what more? And for me, marketing is like a piece of cake, right? It's a cake. I just had one bite of it. So I wanted to have more. I wanted to learn more.
Right.
So I was like, okay, let me just figure it out if there are any good openings. And then I shifted to completely different channel altogether, which is English movie channel. So from a person who is sitting in Agra, I am now reaching out to a person who's sitting in Bombay with very digitally savvy, English speaking audiences. So I think over there it was a very, very interesting journey, learning, because at Z I had a lot of money. At times there was no money. It's a challenge. But even over there, I learned a lot about how to get into partnerships, how to get into collaborate with different brands, how to use your brand power to influence other brands to come together and do a simple marketing campaign. So I think the partnership, the collaboration, the barters is something that I really learned a lot at Times Network. Launched a English movie channel, which is Movies Now 2. It was a fun journey. Then I got a call that Discovery is shifting its headquarters from Delhi to Bombay, and this is the first time I was getting into a team role. So before that I was just an individual contributor. So I was like, I cannot say no to Discovery because I've grown up watching Discovery, right? Like at my home there was hardly any other GC channel used to play. It was always National Geographic and Discovery. So that was my aspirational brand. I was this I have to crack. I got the job. So at Discovery, I was handling 90% of the cluster, like Discovery Animal Planet, Discovery Science, Discovery Turbo. Was doing the marketing, the branding, the trade media. That was the first time I was introduced to the trade media, which is B2B marketing. Social was very, very important because now, like even 5 years, 6 years down the line, social was just picking it up. And I was handling the entire media planning of all the channels, had a huge team. So it was a fun journey. I think I did some amazing campaigns at Discovery. I'm extremely proud of. Even with Animal Planet, different, very, very different channels altogether. Met the most amazing boss ever of my life. So the really good organization. 4.5 years, had fun, but again, that itch was always there. Now what next? And that's where I decided to join Woot as the marketing head of the AWOD business. I was always part of the TV industry, and now Woot was completely OTT app from Viacom Network, which is now Jio Cinema. So I think the journey is interesting.
Man, that's really a remarkable journey. There's so much to learn from you, and I really like it that you transitioned from so many roles. I do have that itch as well. I just cannot sit in one place. I'm what next? What is next? So, ma'am, the OTT streaming space and digital marketing are becoming increasingly competitive. You must have noticed that when you moved from industry to organizations, different organizations. What trends do you believe that will have the most significant impact on the industry in the coming years, and how are you positioning yourself to adapt to these changes?
I think the biggest and the most known change that coming to the media industry is the AI. AI driven content is changing the industry like how, to be honest. So I'm from the content industry, right? We create content day in, day out. Right. There's so much of content. We always have to experiment, always have to give something new to entertain our audience. So creating so much of content is very, very important for our industry. Imagine AI is helping me in creating those content. Right. Of course, I'm not saying that AI can take over the completely script writers and they cannot write. It cannot write an advanced, show script.
Fresh content.
Yeah, but still it can help me a lot in creating smaller short form content from the long form content, which I can use to amplify on the social media and the digital. So I think AI driven content is extremely important, and I'm just... I think it's really near where AI will tell us what to create and where to distribute. Absolutely. So it's interesting. It's very, I feel a lot of challenge being a marketer myself. but a lot of learning also. I think if we know, and I think the marketers have to learn the AI format, and we can use AI to our benefits.
Absolutely.
So I think that is something that I feel is very, very upcoming trend which will change the entire industry. I think the second one, I feel a lot of interactive content. There's so much of content with so little time, and it's getting very, very difficult for us as a content marketers to engage with our audience. So interactive content plays a very, very important role. I don't know if you remember, there was a show on Colors, which was a singing show, Rising Star. You know, so if you're hearing, by the time you can actually vote live, you know, it was like on the spot interactivity.
Yeah.
And I think it created a huge engagement. It's fun, engaging. It's also act like a two-way communication.
Yes,
like, I'm not just telling you that you watch this. If you don't like it, you have the power to tell me right away. So interactive content, I think it's giving also sharing the power with the consumers.
Yeah.
So that is something I would say is a very strong upcoming trend. The third, I would say, live stream.
Sure.
Even we do a lot of live channels, 24-hour. I think that is something very, very interesting. Video is not new, but live video is a subset which is very upcoming. A lot of brands are using it to their advantage. A lot of live streams you see on Instagram. There's so many live streams going on.
YouTube, yeah.
People are releasing their trailers. People are releasing their products during live streams. So I think that's an upcoming trend where we have to keep an eye and see how best we could use it, because it's very unpredictable.
Yes, absolutely.
You cannot decide this is what I will say, this is how I will behave. It's just you need to be very spontaneous. So I think that's very, very interesting for me. So yeah, I would say these three trends that I am, keep an eye on.
Absolutely, ma'am. I truly believe AI is like a boon to
Yeah.
us. Like, as you said, it's helping you out a lot. But for students like us, it's truly a boon.
Yeah.
It helps us in everything from projects to, assignments, everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and apart from that, live streams, as you talked about live streams, they're really important. We're always spending our time either, this person went live, this person went live. That's just something that we're clearly doing.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you talked a lot about consumers. Like, everything for you is centered for your consumer base.
Yeah.
So, my next question would be, could you share, how do you adapt to evolving consumer behaviors with a focus on brand loyalty? And what steps do you take to stay ahead of the curve?
I think consumer research, period. You have to put your consumers always at first. You always have to see everything from consumer lens, because I think the consumer research gets marketers to the heart of what they want. It's very, very important to know what trends are they going
About,
what problems they are facing right now, what is their behavior pattern. I think all of this is extremely important to understand, and this you will be able to understand only if you will talk to them. Both qualitative and quantitative research is very important, but I strongly believe, all the quantitative research, all those data, we have a lot of softwares from a digital, even social media will give you an analysis, but the moment you speak to your consumer, like focus group discussions, it just opens a plethora of options, their lifestyle, their behavior, and you realize that, okay, this is the problem, or this is the way they are going through. How me as a brand can get into their lives and ease or maybe entertain them.
Make it more
so I think that's the key. No one can take away, consumer research, the importance of consumer research. And even at our place, in media organizations, we do consumer research so much, like every single step. The moment, the scripts, the show logos, the characters. So if you've launched a show, we've done like 5 episodes and it's not working, right? So we will quickly do a consumer research to understand what is not working and why, where is the problem. It also keeps you very relevant. imagine a company creating a 5-year plan and not focusing on the market research. It's very difficult for that company to grow from a long-term perspective. It is extremely, because all these market research will put all the consumers and your content, your brand, right in front of consumers. If they'll tell you, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what you're doing wrong, and they're very, very vocal about it, what you're wrong. I have done multiple focus group discussion, and then you realize, okay, because I feel the negative sometimes as a marketer, we do campaigns, we create promos, we create visuals to promote any content pieces, and we say, this will work because I like it. But that's not the right way to look about it, right? Because the TG. I've had multiple arguments, discussions on this. No, this will work because I like it. It's amazing creative, but you are not the audience. So I think that you will get it from the consumer research. So it is consumer research only. I would say you have to, and it's not once in a while that you do. With polls. You can do normal polls. It's not always focus group discussion, right? So I think that is extremely important. I remember Star Plus was launched a show, Mahabharat. I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
Right?
Yes, it was a hit.
It was a hit, but you won't believe, for the first, I think, 5 or 8 episodes, it was a flop. It was a complete flop, and they've invested so much money. And I was the person who was working on the campaign is a friend of mine, so that's why I know and they realized it's we have invested so much money, but it's not working, and then they did a consumer research and they said, you are actually copying what I've seen Mahabharat in the past.
Right.
And it's very boring, you're taking a lot of time to build characters and everything, so I'm a little bored. It's just new characters, colors, and that's it. And that's why the way they shot Mahabharat changed. It was very, very, even today if you watch Mahabharat, it was very sleek, it was very stylized, and that worked.
They made it relevant to the current audience.
That worked. They got to know from consumer research. So I think knowing your consumer, putting your consumer right at the top is very important. And will always help you to be ahead
of the curve. Right.
Yeah.
So ma'am, you talked about consumers, and you said the most important thing to get consumers or retain your consumers are marketing campaigns. And you said you've done marketing campaigns, promos, and a lot of other stuff. So could you share a specific marketing campaign or project that you are particularly proud of, and what are the key elements that made it successful? You just said that you're proud of certain projects that you had at Discovery Communications. So any one that stands out?
One, I think the most incredible campaign of my life was when I was working on Man vs. Wild with Prime Minister Modi.
Oh my God.
It was unbelievable with the speed that we were working on that campaign. 10 days before we decided that we are doing the campaign with Mr. Modi, after 10 days we were shooting with him. Within 5 or 7 days we created the marketing campaign, really and quick. We were just I still don't believe that we could we were able to do that, but I think it's all coming together, all departments coming together. It's something really commendable. So Discovery, it's a very, very aspirational brand, and we were the leaders. We're still the leaders in the infotainment industry. Okay, but unfortunately it was losing its relevance in the recent consumer mindset. So we have to change the game. So it's we are pioneers in survival and infotainment industry. Now we need to change the game, right? So we need to be the relevant brand in the mind of consumers. So how do you do that? So with, again, research, we realized we already have a very interesting format, which is Man vs. Wild with Barack Obama. Okay, it was working. It worked really well over there. So we said, can we try or imagine even doing it with Mr. Modi? right? Luckily, I think because of the brand reputation of Discovery, he said yes. But again, the challenge for us was that we don't want him to overpower. Because, you know, the Man vs. Wild format is very survival. So we want him to be a part of it and not overpower, because Mr. Modi is like that, right?
Yes.
That's how we were building the show narrative. How should we build the show? The like never ever seen before avatar of Prime Minister Modi. He won the election at that point of time. He was all over the news. Everyone was talking about it. But him seeing in the wild was something, you know, you have completely changed the narrative of Mr. Modi. And that's why he was also very, very excited to be part of it. So yeah, we shot with him, and then the challenge was, everyone is like, you've got Modi, so definitely you'll get people, right? People will know that this show is coming on Discovery. I was like, fine, but our challenge was not to push the show, but to get the maximum reach on my niche channel. You know, the leaders are, I think at that point in time, the leaders were ZTV and Star Plus, and we were like 1% of the television industry, and we were saying, I want to be on top. Even, you know, like I want to overpower Star in that period. So I think the challenge was huge, and we could achieve. Finally, we did it. Even on social media, the amount of chatter that we created, the relevant conversation that we created, multiple brands jumped into, you know,
there were so many,
and you won't believe, we reached out, I think, 3.63 billion impressions from our social media. In just comparison, we surpassed Super Bowl. So
that is great.
It was one of the most televised, most talked about event in the TV history.
Absolutely.
And the amount of social chatter that we created, and I'm not comparing, as I said, not comparing only with India. We surpassed Super Bowl. Like there's nothing bigger on social than Super Bowl worldwide.
Yes.
So I think that is something I'm really, really excited. Like I always say, this is like one of the
best.
And you know, getting even simple creatives, a simple tweet, you know, social media captions approved from PMO, by the way.
Yes.
You cannot put anything, you know. So I think that was a challenge, and as I said, we were just working like light of speed, literally.
That was a very quick campaign.
Yeah.
Like, some campaigns take months, but with the PMO, it was a really,
really
quick one.
And we have to keep everything in a very hush-hush. So I remember having conversation with my creative agencies and my social agencies where I was briefing them. I said, you know, I want this idea. There's a celebrity who's coming on board and we have to create a campaign. And it's a very simple question. And they were like, who's the celebrity?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I can't tell you that right now. So we named this project as Project Everest.
Ooh.
Because it was literally a Project Everest for us. So only a day before, I told my creative head that this is Modi. So he was working with some celebrity, not knowing that it's Modi. Because we said the moment we give out this information, you know, it will
be all over.
It will all be all over, and we like that's how you know, that's a challenge also to keep hush and brief your agencies. And they were wondering, and it was like, are you like he clearly told me, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know, like, are you serious? I'm gonna shoot Modi. I was like, yeah. So that's, I think, very, very very, very proud moment for me, or for any marketer, I would say. The second campaign, I think it's a very, very small campaign, and that's why I wanted to just talk about it, that it's not all about big celebrities, it's not about big budgets. Even a very small campaign thought with a beautiful purpose could be a very good campaign at the end. So this is for Animal Planet. We partnered globally with Dodo Heroes. So Dodo is one of the biggest Animal Planet social, right? They do like multiple very, very interesting social animal related videos. For Animal Planet, it's all about animals, but we wanted to talk about the animal welfare. So we partnered with them. We shot 6 stories of people who are going an extra mile helping animals. It was a very nice, have a
Niche.
very beautiful purpose linked to it. And we said, okay, this is a very niche. So how can we make it a very purposeful brand marketing campaign? So we actually partnered with 5 NGOs like World for All, WRCC, Feline Foundation. We partnered with keto.org. We got brand ambassadors. Kunal Kapoor is the founder of keto.org. So he came on board. He's like, I would love to be part of this. We got Suha Ali Khan because she is also a lot into animal welfare.
Yeah, right.
And we just created a campaign called Be Kind to All Kind. And we asked people to donate to these foundations. So there was a purpose behind every single foundation, and that was my marketing campaign. I was not asking people to come and watch these stories. I said, please, if you believe, if you want to save and do anything, sometimes we want to do it but we don't know how to do it. These are the foundations that are working for animal welfare. This is their project and goal. So if you wish, please, and that's what Soha and Kunal also came on board, and at the end, I think all the 5 NGOs, I think organically we could, if I correctly remember, it was around 25 to 30 lakhs that we could.
That is an incredible.
Yeah, so it was so, we were so happy, and I got all my branding and all my marketing was all organic. Because when people got to know, the NGOs were promoting, Soha is promoting, Kunal is promoting, newspapers are picking it up, a lot of other other organizations are picking it up, that it's such a nice way just to promote and just be kind to all kind. I think that messaging, and that's why I'm really, really proud about this. I was like, it's not always about, a big celebrity, huge budgets. I think it's just about
a good thought,
a good initiative, and you want to put your all into that. So that's the reason I just thought I'll have 2 different.
Okay, so I just have one question.
Yes.
Were the memes a part of the marketing campaign for the Modi?
For
PM
Modi,
campaign?
actually no, we were not allowed to do that.
Yes. But the campaign was a hit because it was all over the place.
Yeah,
the memes were.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, because a lot of brands reached out to us and we said, officially, I will not be able to do that. But please go ahead.
Yeah.
And I think that created, I remember Amul, I remember Vicks. All these brands created their own memes, and I think that's what it created. It made this entire campaign as a very cultural relevant, so relatable. So for this campaign, there was no, in marketing we say you need to identify who's your TG. There was no TG for this campaign.
No TG. Right.
It was like, I want to reach out to a 10-year-old kid also, and I want to reach out to a 50-year-old man also.
Yeah.
So there was no TG. There was no markets. I want to reach out to entire India. So
and it did
that's
reach
the
out
fun,
to the entire
and
Indian population.
It's fun, but it was challenging too, because you are dealing with the PM,
right.
And you cannot go anything wrong. So but as I said, we were not officially able to do that.
But a lot of other people had the liberty to do that.
Yeah. And I think that also resulted into the success.
It was all over the place, all over the internet.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, as you talked about the marketing campaigns, you talked about it from inception to maturity. So, I would like to ask you if you could describe your approach to managing product life cycle, again from inception to maturity, and how it contributes to the overall success of the brand.
Okay. I think to understand the product life cycle of any brand, I think, so I'll take an example. I think it's easy to explain it with example. Again, at Discovery Network, the management decided that we will be launching Eurosport as the sports channel in India. It was a tough choice, and it's very, very important to know all the ifs and buts when you launch any campaign, and be true and be realistic. So we realized that India is all about sports. In India, sports is all about cricket. Cricket is religion. So in the TV industry, 95% of the sports is all cricket. Only 5% is wrestling, is even Wimbledon. No one watches it, by the way.
Yeah.
We like, I love to, like, I always have like, why people are not watching it?
Yeah.
Like tennis, that's all of it is just 5%. Otherwise, it's all cricket. And you're a sport, there was no cricket. So that's the challenging part. So when we got to know that, okay, this is the channel that we are getting, it's very important to understand what your product stands for. So we said, we are not a sports, we are not a cricket channel. So the responsibility on us is to introduce niche sports in India. Okay.
Right.
Why do you and me watch cricket? I'm saying in general, why 95% is cricket? Because you have grown up watching cricket. No one in our houses are watching F1 or MotoGP or hardly tennis. No one is watching it. Everyone is watching just cricket. So we have grown up watching and talking about cricket. So for us, whenever you talk about sports, it's the cricket. So I think we took it as a responsibility that we have to introduce niche sports to India. And let's just be very clear, we will never be able to compete with star sports of the world because they have IPL and World Cup. So we said that's not my competition. And trust me, there are a lot of brands that want to associate themselves with niche sports like MotoGP, F1 race. So I think that's something that we realize, okay, this is my product from a product life cycle, right? This is my product. These are very simple, it's typical bookish knowledge, but it's very important. These are my strengths. I have some amazing sports like Tour de France, cycling events, MotoGP. These are my weaknesses. I don't have cricket anymore. This is my niche audiences, okay? And this is the niche marketing that I'm going to do. There are a lot of, I don't watch, or I was not aware about MotoGP in that much when I was promoting it. But there was a person in my team and he's like, there are groups, WhatsApp groups where people are sharing, people are talking about it. And I was like, okay, so there are very niche groups. There is audience.
A few segment of people.
There are good amount of, audience groups that are watching those niche spots. So we actually we reached out to them, got into their WhatsApps, and we said, okay, no to mass. We will not do any mass promotion. We will not have outdoors and TV and print because that's not what I want to do. I want to get into the so if someone is watching or asking when is the next MotoGP race, I should be the first one to tell them.
Yeah, right.
So it's a very, very targeted marketing that we did. So that's very important from a product life cycle to understand. And when we launched it, a lot of people, there were really good comments. It's like, you're doing a good job, you're introducing niche spots. And we were doing events, we were partnering with Red Bull kind of events, So I think we need to understand that. And then we said, okay, now we have launched this product and there's a MotoGP. How can we take MotoGP or niche sports? Is there a way? And during our research, we realized that people are interested in, for example, MotoGP, but they have not seen it. So we have to introduce it to them. So for MotoGP, we got John Abraham on board. We said, because he is epitome of, like, he is die-hard fan of MotoGP. I had multiple conversations with him and I was just like I cannot have any other questions because he was telling me what engines, what race. He was like, make your creatives.
He
and
was
I was
making
like,
it
oh my god,
clear.
like, he had, I remember, special VVIP PAL where he could actually, ride his bike on that. So it was that amazing. But that was a synergy. So we got him on board. That was, I would say, the maturity part of my, my channel. That you have launched a product, you have gained your audiences. Now you need to be very specific. So that was a channel promotion. Now this is a property promotion where you have delivered a promise, right? You have committed a promise. Now you have to deliver the promise. That's why we got MotoGP. That's why we got John Abraham on board. We created a beautiful campaign out of it. He's amazing to work with. And then we promoted MotoGP and the numbers shot up. And slowly we are getting into Tour de France. So said, okay, MotoGP sorted, now what is the next big property for us? Next big property for us was cycling event, which is Tour de France. Is one of the biggest cycling event, and the amount of, I think the thrill is amazing. Like, I was in awe. I was like, oh my god, why aren't we watching this? Why aren't we showing this to our kids, to our younger generation? This is sports. Like, I love cricket, guys, really, but still, like, this is sports. It's the true spirit of sports. So I think this is how you plan your product. For every product, need to understand, as I said, bookish knowledge, but what your product is, who's your TG, what are the markets that you're getting into. Very important to understand your strengths and weaknesses, the competition landscapes, and once you launch it, you have committed a promise. Then in the maturity phase, later on phase, you have to deliver that promise. Absolutely. So I think that's very important from a product life cycle point of view.
Ma'am, your enthusiasm on all these topics, all your campaigns, and your
I love my job being a marketer.
I can see that it is so contagious. I'm excited now. So, ma'am, lastly, as a marketing leader, what advice would you offer to aspiring young professionals looking to build a successful career in the field of marketing?
I think be honest. Be honest with your work. Be extremely passionate towards your work. Do give your 100% to whatever you are doing. Never, for young marketers, never think that this is small, this is big, I'm just a small person, I don't know what these people are doing, they're very big people, so they'll take big decisions, I will only do this bit. I don't think so we should, do that.
Stick to that, yeah.
So it's very, very important to be crazy. When we hire management trainees, especially in my team, young people, and I tell clearly to them, it's like, listen, I'm old. Okay, so you are on social, right? Like, it's very simple. A social media intern, he's like, no, you have to tell me, what to do. I was like, no, you have to tell me what to do.
You have the liberty.
Everyone is on social media. You know what exactly is working. I'm sorry, I'm old. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't get those trends very quickly. Maybe I don't get that lingo very quickly. But you are there. You are doing it by yourself. So you should come to me. Why aren't you doing this? You should question me.
Right.
And he's like, okay, fine. Now I'll do that. So I think that energy is something. Be honest, be passionate. Be very agile. Whenever you join a new company, I think that's very important, I feel. Work in every department.
Yeah, that's a great
So when I joined in Z, I think for the first 2 months, my job was to sit in every single department and learn what they're doing for 15 days and go back to my boss and say, okay, this is what they are doing and this is their challenges, this is their strengths, this is where they need my help. This was my job for 2 months. And that builds your foundation, So, so from the content media industry, I know what the content team is doing. I know what ad ops is doing. I know what OAP, the creative team is doing. I know what social team is doing. So today, if someone tells me, this is the reason why we are not able to do it. So there could be multiple ways that I can reply back to them because my foundation is very strong. The first thing is, don't lie to me. I know that you don't want to do it. It's very simple because XYZ reason, I know. Okay. Sometimes I can actually feel their pain and I was like, yeah, I know you're struggling, you're not able to solve it. I know that's okay, we'll figure it out, and sometimes it's something that, I don't know what you want to do, maybe I'm not able to understand, let's collaborate together and figure it out together.
Right.
But no one can tell me or create a fool out of myself that I'm not doing this because you are marketing, you don't know what's happening in content. No, I know what's happening in content. No, I know how you guys work. I appreciate every single department because every one department cannot make any campaign or any brand successful. So all of us have to come together. So I think that's very important, and that's what I suggest to all my new hires also. Please just go. For 2 months, don't come to me. Just go, just work, just learn how to read data, just work with the analytics team, just work with the creative team, just work here, because I will ask you data questions then. So I think, and when they're free, they learn.
Figure it out.
They figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we'll figure it out. And I remember that one of my interns, and I was like, I don't know how to solve this problem. It was a very, very simple logistic issue, but we were not able to crack it. And he's like, no, I know this person, he will be able to help us. And I was like, wow.
That's
so I
what you
think
want.
that's very important for the new marketers. Be crazy, be creative, don't shy away from giving out ideas. I'm saying it as a head. I love hearing ideas. Sometimes I don't get ideas myself. It's very human.
Yeah.
I don't get creative ideas sometimes. Like the creative blockade. So I would love to hear it from my a young person in my team, helping me out in those ideas.
Right.
Be very agile. This industry, like even the marketing, anything can happen. So don't restrict yourself. Okay, no, I was working XYZ thing, but I cannot do now ABC.
Right.
It happens, So I think be very agile, be very adaptable, be dependable, learn and learn and learn.
Right.
Make mistakes. Everyone is making mistakes, so don't shy away from mistakes and just be very open and don't take anything to your heart. Just have fun. So I think, that would.
Ma'am, I truly believe that passion goes a long way, as you rightly said.
Yeah.
So as we conclude our inaugural segment, I'd like to express my gratitude for the truly enlightening discussion. I'm confident that our listeners have learned a lot from your valuable and elaborate insights. Now let's move on to the more light-hearted portion of our episode, the high-speed rapid-fire round. I'll be presenting a series of questions and we're looking forward to your quick and witty responses.
Okay.
Ms Tyagi, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So, social media marketing or email marketing?
Social media marketing.
Lovely. Content marketing or influencer marketing?
Content marketing. Influencer marketing is a distribution platform, I would say. But content marketing is the heart.
It's the heart, lovely. Video marketing or blog posts?
Video marketing. Who wants to read 6-page document? I would rather see a 3-minute video.
Same.
So,
Guerrilla marketing or viral marketing techniques?
I think using guerrilla marketing to create a viral campaign.
That's great. And could you share your favorite book or resource for staying updated?
Human connections.
Okay. A quote that you swear by?
Never give up.
Lovely. And whom do you consider as your marketing guru?
Okay.
You said you had, amazing
I think Steve
bosses.
Jobs.
Steve Jobs, lovely.
I think, and I would suggest everyone to just read his book and just see. I think that he's a marketing guru of all times. Yeah, the way he truly believed, and I strongly believe. I'm sorry, I know this is a rapid fire, but I'll just
It's
say,
fine.
Because people don't buy products. People buy stories and experience associated with him. And I think he got it very right. The way he created and the way anticipation and excitement he created towards Apple products, it led Apple to one of the most influential company in the world even today. Everyone is waiting for the Apple new product, even if it has a minor change here and there.
Right.
But I think that's the aspirational value that he's created. So, all time, Steve Jobs.
Okay, and my last question. So, as you're from Delhi University and now you've been living in Bombay for a long time, Mumbai or Delhi?
I love Bombay. I think it has a vibe, but I miss Delhi food and shopping.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. So that was a swift round. It seems like I've been the only one asking questions till now. How about we turn the spotlight to the questions that are on our audience's mind? Let's move on to our next segment called CIC Wants to Know, where we'll address the frequently asked questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, our first question is, how do you like to celebrate your achievements, whether they're big or small?
I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes a nice dinner with my husband is all I need. And
so
sometimes I need a really nice vacation in 5-star hotels. So it depends on my mood.
That is great. Okay, next up. How do you stay motivated on a tough day?
Just believe in yourself. I believe in myself completely. I know my foundations are strong, and also that nothing is permanent and nothing is constant in life. Life is full of ups and downs. You will never always be happy, and you will never always be at the top of your game.
Right.
So if you're very well aware about it, that it's a tough day, this will pass, things will get better. Just be grounded, prepare yourself for the good time. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So, my next question would be, how do you explain your job to a child in a way that they would understand?
Oh God, okay, this is a really tough one. So on a Saturday, if they want to watch a movie, which movie, why that movie, when to watch, where to watch, is done by me.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Lovely. Next up, how do you define success in the corporate world today?
I think if your ex-boss wants to hire you again and your team wants to work with you again, rest is temporary.
That is great. That is great. Really insightful. And my last question would be, how do you motivate your team so that they reach their performance targets?
I think I've answered this already. Just be honest and be passionate, and do what you love to do. Enjoy your work. So the moment you stop enjoying your work, you will not give your 100%.
Right.
So a lot of times it's a tough call, but I tell my team that if you're not enjoying it,
You're not
analyze, is it something that I can help you with? So you start enjoying your work, or is it something that you want to move out and maybe pursue something else?
Right.
Because we also I have shifted multiple jobs, right? Because I stopped enjoying my work over there. So I was looking for more excitement. So I think whatever you're doing, just give your 100% to it. And if you're not giving it, that means you're figuring something else.
Right.
So be realistic, be true to yourself, that what I want in life, and don't waste time.
Right.
Or, like organization's time, your time, because life is too short. So, yeah.
Right, lovely. So to keep the momentum going, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How often do you use emoticons?
Quite often, yeah.
Quite often. Then you're gonna love our next
I'm not
round.
that too old.
Then you're gonna love our next round.
Okay.
So let us infuse our conversation with a bit of creativity through our emoji round. So you will express your thoughts on some fascinating topics using emojis.
Perfect.
So we have 5 emojis here. This is one second. This is the happy emoji.
Yeah.
This is the angry emoji.
Yeah.
This is the shocked emoji.
Yes.
Then we have facepalm emoji, my favorite. And then we have no comments.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tata Play has ventured out of India with a white label solution for global OTT aggregators. Your reaction to that? Oh, you're happy. That's great. Your reaction if there was a last minute change in your biggest campaign? Facepalm. Get it, facepalm. Oh, facepalm and shocked. Lovely. And your reaction to staying overtime? Angry. Okay. Even we hate it when we have to stay over for an extra lecture. As we approach the end of our interview, I must say that emojis did add a certain charm to our conversation. With the energy still intact, let us transition to the last part of our podcast. We've delved into the industry and your professional work extensively.
Yeah.
But now it's time to learn more about you through our final segment, Beyond the Boardroom.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is your favorite social media platform?
Instagram.
Has
For
to
now.
Be that. Has to be that. Okay. Your favorite actor, actress, or OTT star?
My favorite actor is Sylvester Stallone. That's it.
Okay. Your favorite movie or TV show genre?
Rocky. The Last Dance, which is all about Michael Jordan. I think everyone should watch it.
Okay. And lastly, the show that you are binge watching right now?
I'm watching Kala Pani. I'm watching Sex Education. Simultaneously.
I'm watching those too. Yeah. Okay. So with this, we come to an end of today's podcast episode. Thank you for your quick responses and valuable knowledge that you've shared on this domain.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Our conversation with Ms Shruti Tyagi has been incredibly insightful. I'm confident that our viewers have greatly benefited from your invaluable wisdom and experiences within the realm of marketing and media. Ms. Tyagi, I extend my sincere appreciation for your time and participation. It has been a great pleasure to host you on Business Edge 4.0.
Same
I
here.
hope you had a wonderful time.
Yeah, same here. It's lovely to be here. It's always good to be surrounded by this young energy. So all the best to you guys.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure you guys will do great in life and just have fun, be crazy.
Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Thank you.
I really liked your
Thank
response.
you.